Okay, so there's multiple steps to this project, but we're gonna start with step one. So step one, we have our paper. I have a bunch of printouts and they have brushes on the front and the back. So you're welcome to kind of look at these and copy whichever one you would like. You are not allowed to trace. So just a heads up, you wanna make sure you're kind of free drawing it. I also have makeup brushes. So if anybody would rather do those, you're welcome to do those. They're brushes too. And actually people do use those to paint also. So you have to have 5 or 6. So you need a variety of brushes. You have to have 5 or 6 on your paper. They can be in a straight line like Jim Dine's, or they can kind of be placed however you would like them. You do want them to be about the size of the printout or a little bit bigger. So you want to kind of think about how you're going to do that. So I always break things down by shape and kind of think of them like that too. And obviously you're going to be looking at it while you're drawing. So if I start with this brush and I can place it however I want, I'm going to put it on the paper and I'm going to start with the handle. And I'm just going to make the handle the shape that I'm looking at. And notice I'm sketching very lightly because I'm going to go back over this with Sharpie anyway. So I don't need for those lines to be very, very dark. Okay. So we got that shape. Now notice I don't have the actual brush on the top. So for the brush on the top, I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit and show you how we're going to do that. So I've got scrap piece of paper here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my scrap piece of paper, and I'm actually able to see where the brush is through the paper, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the paper right where the line meets for the brush. And I had this kind of funny shape on the top of this brush, so I'm going to kind of try to copy what that looks like. But I put those markers there so that I don't pass that area. And then with my pencil, I'm going to make texture for the brush, okay? I'm gonna do this in pencil, and I'm also gonna do this in Sharpie. So I need to do the same technique with my pencil and with my Sharpie, because if I don't do that, I'm gonna actually make those texture marks on the brush, and I don't wanna do that, okay? So totally easy. I'm gonna zoom back out. Now I've gotta get at least 4 more brushes on my paper. So I'm gonna figure out how I want to place those, and if I want them straight or if I want them kind of sideways. So each time you are doing your brush, you are placing it wherever you want. You are sketching it using light lines so you're able to erase, and you are then adding the texture of the brush, and you're doing the whole thing in pencil first, and then you're gonna go back over same exact technique with Sharpie. Notice I'm on my next brush. I've just drawn the shape of the brush. I'm gonna put my scratch paper back on top. I'm gonna make my guide marks. I'm gonna push it to the very top of the brush, and then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna add the texture. Now, you can do the texture up in the motion that I'm doing it, or sometimes it kind of helps to do it down too. But notice I'm always trying to kind of copy the shape and the texture of the brush. And your brush doesn't have to look exactly like the brush on the screen. You can kind of come up with a new thing. Also, in the past, I've had people write things on their brushes in like a brand of a brush, or if you wanted to like write your name on the brush and kind of hide your name for like your artist signature, you're welcome to do that.